Thank you so much for the time, John. So day 2, the whole tournament, ADCC World Championships is in the books. Tell me, how did your experience go?
For me, I'm not going to lie, my heart's bursting with pride for the achievement of my athletes, and just so many great performances. Let's go through it by weight division, starting with the small, going to the large, and then we'll talk about Gordon last because he was actually in weight division and open weight, so it makes more sense that way. I thought Nicky Ryan gave an amazing performance. He beat a very, very talented world champion in his opening bout. He had a very, very close tussle with one of the greatest figures in the sport, Miao, and it was actually, there was a referee's mistake and it should have gone into overtime, but there was an oversight on the referee, so it didn't. But next time, but he certainly showed he can go at that level, and he really, the only thing that he faltered on was tactics. Technically, he's there already, but with just a change in tactics, he could win that fight tomorrow. So I was incredibly gratified to see at such a young age he's at a level where even the best people in the world are definitely threatened by him. So his future potential is immense. Going up from there, 2 great performances by Oliver Taizo. He had an amazing match with Canuto, and for a junior member of the team to go out against one of the foremost players in the world at 77 kilos, just a phenomenal performance. That kid's got a big future ahead of him too. Gary Tonin, what can I tell you? That kid is literally a human highlight reel, and some of the most amazing matches I've ever seen as a coach. Even, I'm supposed to be dry and technical as a coach. I'm never the cheerleading kind. I always give tactics and technique, and even I was like, damn, this is one hell of a match. And just an amazing performance. He had a heartbreaker with JT. It was so close, wasn't quite there, but then came back in the open weight with probably the move of the tournament with a beautiful flying leg lock victory. Just, what can I tell you, the kid's amazing. Craig Jones, just an amazing performance by Craig. I was fascinated by the fact that you could see his game change significantly. He had a much wider array of submissions. He went through the whole body. It wasn't just legs. He had a beautiful guillotine. He never had a guillotine before. Now he had a match-saving guillotine. That was an impressive victory for Craig, because there's always been a complaint about Craig that he either wins very early or he fades away as the match goes on. And that was a match where he was actually losing, and he came back with just seconds left with a beautiful high-risk guillotine and closed it out and got a spectacular victory. So that was an amazing performance by him, and a very impressive one for all our Australian fans. Australia had an amazing day with Craig Jones and Lachlan Giles going out and getting silver and bronze medal. Just a phenomenal day. I'm so proud of all you Australian grapplers, and a great day for all of you. Then we went up to
over 99.
Yeah, we'll go up to over 99 with Nicky Rod. I don't think anyone knew who Nicky Rod was coming into the tournament. They knew he was like a big, strong guy. I think it's fair to say by the end of his first match, he was probably one of the most popular figures in the entire tournament. I think at one point he came out for his second match and more people went to watch that match than some of the big established stars on the other match. Just incredible.
Why do you think fans were drawn to him so much?
First off, he's a big muscular guy, but he was actually pretty small in that weight division. I think everyone was bigger than him. His first match, I think he was outweighed by about 30, 40 pounds, and the second match, I think he was outweighed by like 60 pounds. So everyone likes the smaller guy, and he just goes out there with heart, soul, and commitment, and a lot of people really identify with that. Just a phenomenal performance, and a guy who's been training barely a year in jiu-jitsu, getting a silver medal in the heaviest weight division in ADCC. It's crazy, He's got so much potential. Believe it or not, Nicky Rod actually has a pretty good bottom game, and I'm hoping in the next ADCC he'll show some of that, and in between them too. So he had an amazing performance, just a great character too. I think he's going to be a superstar in this sport. I think people got the sense of that this weekend, that this kid has superstar material. And then of course Gordon Ryan.
You saw he got his purple belt?
Yeah.
So you got his purple belt? I got it.
Yeah, we got to do something about that belt, right? We can't have blue belts winning silver medals at 80. This is not happening anymore. Nicky Ryan, I'm probably going to give him a brown belt when I get home. He was a purple belt. It's crazy. I think as when we were starting in the sport, belts really meant something, but at this point, you got purple belts going out there beating black belts. It's getting crazy out there. Then, of course, Gordon Ryan, what a performance. In his weight division, he just looks so crushingly dominant. His submission rate was through the roof, as always. You kind of expect that with Gordon. This was a fascinating one because in the open weight, his final with Buchecha was a very tense tactical match, and he showed a lot of tactical nuance in that victory. There was a whole question, Buchecha had an advantage with size in the standing position. How was he going to overcome that? And he found a brilliant way to do it, exploiting the rules of the 3-second guard pull off a failed takedown. And he hit the best move of the match with a beautiful Sumigaeshi hook sweep. Almost got mounted in the first regulation time, and that was probably the single best move of the match. Put more pressure from bottom position than Buchecha did from top. So just an incredible performance. I know he's always said for years he would win that match, and he's gratified to have gone out and proven it. Also fascinating to see the possibility of a match with Andre Galvão. I thought Andre Galvão's match was brilliant, by the way. He really used smart tactics and strong standing position skills to beat one of the most talented guys in the sport. Fantastic match by him. So if they do meet in 2 years, it's going to be an amazing matchup. Incredible athletes.
Talking to Gordon a little bit, he seemed disappointed in his performance, if you can believe
Gordon
it.
is probably the harshest critic of himself imaginable. If he doesn't get 100% sub rate, he thinks it doesn't count. He's just like, if he doesn't win by submission, he just ignores the match and won't watch it. So he'll be looking next time to get 100% submissions. Even if his opponent gets a move on him, he's disappointed. To him, that's failure. And he's a perfectionist, and perfectionists tend to do well at what they do. But man, it was a deeply impressive performance all around. You may have to check me on this, but I believe that may have been the most successful team performance in ADCC history. And to have both the best team performance and the best individual performance in one event it's an incredibly gratifying thing for me as a coach. And I'm just so proud of my athletes, the way they trained. They went through a lot of adversity through this camp, and I'm just so happy for them, for the results they got, and now the recognition they get.
When I asked Gordon how a kid from Jersey became the best grappler in the world, he said John Danaher.
He's exaggerating. He would have been the best in the world no matter who was coaching him. He's a unique character. Same with Nicky Ryan, same with Gary Toner. They would have been great no matter who their coaches were. Craig Jones was great before he even met me. I'm a catalyst, that's all I am. I'm not a magician. I can't turn lead into gold. Those guys came in good and they just got better. And the amount of drive and passion they bring into the sport. Just think about the average day. The average day for those kids. Wake up 5 in the morning, it's dark, it's cold, they drive 2 hours in heavy traffic, come in, train all day, twice a day. Then they have to go home and lift weights. 2 hours back in rush hour traffic. Then they have to go and train and teach at their own schools. I mean, how many people could do that for 6 years straight? Not many. And for most of that, they were unknown, unheralded, no money. And it's only now that they're getting recognition. Like, how many people could really do that? People always want to say, Danaher does this or that, but no, those guys are special individuals. And only a liar would try to claim great credit for their accomplishments.
But you have been working with this group for many years now in a basement in New York City. To come all the way to the ADCC World Championships, have the performance that you guys did. I mean, I think it's hard to argue that Gordon is the best grappler in the world. Certainly, the one.
I think it'd be pretty tough to argue against it at this point. I mean, I realize Gordon's personality rubs some people the wrong way. One thing you guys got to understand: Gordon's not like that in real life. He's a sweetheart. Like you saw with your own eyes at the end of the tournament. He's having photos with kids. He's the nicest person you've ever met. He talks with Andre Galvão. He's very respectful, and please don't misunderstand that.
What does it mean to see these guys reach their dreams after all this work.
It's huge. I'm not the most emotional guy in the world, but even I get a warmth in my heart when I see the good results they get and the rewards that they're starting to reap. My ultimate goal is to have a world where grapplers are recognized in the same way that mainstream sportsmen are recognized and compensated accordingly. And we're not there yet. We've got a long way to go. Our industry is different from most industries because most of the people who watch the sport also participate in the sport, whereas most other sports, for example, soccer, most people who watch soccer don't play soccer, whereas the overwhelming majority of people who watch jiu-jitsu also play it. So it's hard for jiu-jitsu to expand because we don't have a huge fan base. But I believe if athletes are coached to put on exciting matches, and we can expand the sport in time. And my dream would be for athletes to be able to go out and make a really good living doing what they love in jiu-jitsu. We're not there yet, but who knows? With people like Gordon Ryan, Gary Tonin, Nicky Ryan putting on exciting matches, drawing eyes into the sport, things could change in time.
Do you feel like this weekend was a big giant step forward?
I do think this weekend was big. Hats off also to ADCC. The show they put on this weekend was unbelievable. The production quality was better than any ADCC I've ever been to in my life. And the athletes put on amazing matches. The show itself was thrilling to be around. The crowded atmosphere. I'm not going to lie to you, I wouldn't be upset if they just made every ADCC in California. I just thought it was just a better show. And the crowd was amazing. Every time the athletes made a good move, even subtle ones, the crowd, you could hear the crowd reacting. They knew they were smart. They're not ignorant, and it was a special weekend for sure.
Well, congratulations on everything, John.
Thank you.
It was incredible to watch you and the whole squad perform out there. Congratulations on all the success, and so to see you again.
Thank you. And also, guys, thanks so much for following the sport and your interest in FloGrappling and in the squad and my athletes. It means a ton to see and hear messages from you on social media of the successes that you're having in the sport, from watching the way my athletes work and expanding your own skills in the sport of jiu-jitsu based on what they do. I'm glad that you got to see the philosophies and techniques and tactics that we use working well in competition here this weekend. Thanks so much, and enjoy it all on FloGrappling. Thank you.